Sony has launched the fourth iteration of their flagship Xperia Z series, and last week the Indian subcontinent also got its first taste of the latest and greatest from Sony, the Z3. And it wasn't long before we got our hands on the Xperia Z3 in its full glory. Welcome to the initial impressions of the new Sony flagship. The Xperia Z2 wasn't a bad phone by any stretch of imagination, but it wasn't a jaw-dropping one either. The build was trademark Sony standard, with a top-notch 20.7 megapixel camera and a not-so-tinkered version of Android, complemented by top-of-the-line hardware. But the experience wasn't exhilarating. However, Sony has come out all guns blazing with the Z3 with improvements in nearly every area. The build is unquestionably top class from Sony when it comes to Z3. This time the edges softened and corners more rounded, giving a lot better feel than the uninspiring design on its predecessor. It's quite similar to the Nokia Lumia 925, which is a compliment. The device sports glass on the front and the back, a trend started by the first Xperia Z. The overall look and feel is miles better than the Z2, which left us very impressed with the overall build and feel of the device. Another thing that caught our attention was the screen. Sony has come leaps and bounds from the original Xperia Z that had a TFT Full HD display with poor viewing angles, but the Z3 is a match for anyone out there. In fact, we'd be bold enough to claim that the screen offered colors on par, if not better, than the Samsung Super AMOLED offering with the S5. The viewing angles are solid and there is no bleeding of light from the corners. The 5.2-inch IPS display has a pixel density of 424, which is very smart game from Sony, as the likes of LG G3 with a Quad HD display are finding life difficult pushing all those pixels, even with a Snapdragon 801 SoC. Another area where the Z3 improves massively is the UI. If you watch Snaptech's review of Xperia Z2, you'll find that we weren't really impressed with Sony's UI, which felt a bit slow considering the hardware at the back. Not anymore with the Z3. Sony has done some real optimization with the Z3 and it felt on par with the likes of HTC One M8. Even the icons are refreshed and enlarged and look a lot similar to stock Android. It's a commendable job from Sony to address their UI, as their previous one was but disappointing and did not give a feel of a top-of-the-line flagship. The camera is also enhanced in multiple ways to extract a last bit of performance and quality from the 20.7 megapixel G lens and Sony's XMOR sensor. The result is a great amount of detail not only in normal sunlight, but also when the light is scant. The video quality is also superb, although optical image stabilization is still missing from Sony's armor. All in all, this is a great step from Sony and brings the Z3 in line with HTC One M8, Samsung Galaxy S5 and the iPhone 5S and the 6. Priced at Rs 51,000, it looks to be on the higher side, but considering it was launched last week, it should come down to a more reasonable range shortly. If budget is not your concern, we at Snaptech recommend that you should definitely get cozy with this Sony flagship.